Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod with Mohamad Saker. Mohamad is CEO and co-founder at Synergi AE. It's a BPO. He's also been COO at Etmar Holdings and Al Dahra.
Dahra.
I'm
Yeah.
trying that.
Yeah.
Al Dahra Holding
Yeah.
for a couple of years. I worked at CGI in my native Montreal. So we're talking about Montreal there, London Business School educated, so top guy here. Mohamad, welcome to the pod. Tell us a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
Thank you, Charles. Great pleasure to be here. So I'm based in Abu Dhabi, UAE. I'm like you, a bit a citizen of the world, lived in five different locations. Currently, I'm settled in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is home for me. A bit about myself, 45 years old. Started as a law graduate, never practiced law, but then grew in the ranks in multiple corporate functions, be it in HR, procurement, digital transformation. And all this added up to my experience in large scale organizations with different offices, different functions, and so on. And 2017, something changed in my life. I started an MBA program at LBS, so it was a great, if you like, a boost in my career. Back then, I was still a corporate employee, and then gradually, over time, I moved to another investment holding until I started seriously thinking about how I can bring over this experience and actually be on my own into a startup kind of model. As you can imagine, you're living in a corporate in a comfort zone. You have your benefits, you have your salary. It's not easy to move out until something shocks the system, and that was actually the trigger back in 2023. Um, I was kind of pushed to take a decision, and then I found it was the moment for me to start Synergi, which, as the name says, is all about bringing synergies. So that's our focus. We link dots, and that even
Interesting.
is reflected in our logo.
And you chose BPO as a niche, right? That's quite interesting of a timing
Yeah.
because we're sort of in the middle of the agentic revolution in which now there's AI agents instead of
Yeah.
employees that we can hire. Do you still think humans are relevant and will grow in that equation? Why did you start a BPO precisely in the AI era?
It's a great question, Charles. So basically, I believe the function of human interaction is different. I believe that the experience, the relationship management will still need to be ran by humans, and that's extremely important. Nevertheless, um, the ability to use AI in the back end to deliver faster, you
Better,
know,
cheaper.
better, cheaper, obviously, back office functions is undeniable. If I come to you today as a potential investor and I tell you I would like to build a delivery center in India, the Philippines, anywhere in the world, basically Mexico, maybe, where I will hire 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, call center agents, you will say this guy is nuts. It's absolutely impossible. The best combination that we can offer today is this augmentation of human service plus the AI. Together, it's a great combination, I believe, and that's all the message of Synergy. That's where we're here to do.
Right. And how do you make sure that your humans are AI native and that they use these technologies as a second nature?
So again, that's a great question. What we do is we're very selective in our people selection. With the people we want to have on board, obviously are passionate people, but at the same time, they're uh, they're tech people in a way. plus they have this customer experience focus. So for us, that's extremely important. Having said that, and to add to your point about this entire, I was doing a comparison today between multiple player in the BPO sector and what Synergy brings on the table. And if you look at the number of resources, the human capabilities of potential competitors to ours, they're like in hundreds, sometimes in thousands of people of headcount, if you like. And then, funny enough, my partner and I were thinking that we're probably aiming for 50 people plus AI. So the combination of this SWAT team, which is qualified, AI driven, plus the actual AI functions, is a great combination.
Right. And how would you describe a very productive humans using an army of AI agents, which I guess you could hire on a freelancer model in the future? Because I do believe that
Yeah.
most of the future is entrepreneurial. I don't think there will be like 9 to 5 type of workers. But let's say that this person exists. What combination of skills would they have? Is it AI agents orchestration? Is it very tech savvy, very tech literate? Is it just connecting stuff together, APIs together? Is it being, did you need to know how to code, or just vibe coding's enough? Like, what skills would the AI orchestrator of the future have?
So not I wouldn't look for somebody who's too techy, because that's not the skill which will necessarily be uh, the one which will put at the front with the client. I look more for relationship managers, people who have good ability to speak to customers, to understand the customers, to understand their needs, to have a very strong, very big experience in the kind of services we do, basically, which are back office functions, and translate this into something that the AI can execute. So more like mediators between the client and actually the AI agents and the delivery team. So that's really the skill which we believe is important. Somebody who's able also to translate this into uh, a proper customer experience. You know, it's all about experience, about engagement. This is what we bring on the table.
Right. So EQ, right? Very high EQ.
Absolutely, emotional ability to understand the client is extremely important in this case.
Right. And what are the sub branches of EQ? Is it just understanding that their emotions, empathizing with their pain, but then finding like a direct IQ related solution? And do you think an AI can do a better job at that sometimes than a human? And yeah, sometimes if it's like service people, like they eat it, right? Like if they take like 5 customers in a row shouting at them, shouldn't an AI manage that and not the human?
Could be, but today this is not the model that we want to bring over, at least at this stage. We want to keep this a human interaction. For us, it's important. We believe in the power that a good face-to-face person, if you like, a good individual relationship that is important to bring over, and translate this into an execution at the AI level. Um, yeah, we'll see how this will grow, but today this is the model we want to put in place.
Yeah, I think most customers still want a human at that level, but that will diminish with time, and that's where technology will step in. The human may
Yeah,
be like a middleman in between, but you can definitely, I can already see like these YC companies that know pretty much all the data about a customer, and that would actually fix their problem even before they're
yeah,
stepping on a call. I don't think people even want to get on calls; they just want their problem solved, and I think a bunch of startups are knowing that, are fixing that. And for example, when I take ChatGPT next to a virtual assistant, right? Like I get a bunch of virtual assistants nowadays that are still asking me like, "Hey, are you available at that time? Why
mm,
don't you use a Calendly link?" that will mention the overlap. Like people still have a hard time adapting to that. Or if I would use a virtual assistant myself, ChatGPT pretty much knows everything about me, knows my writing style, my thinking style, and it will be 10 to 50x faster than a virtual assistant. And it's proactive. I don't need to tell it to be proactive. It is already like that. So I'm just unsure about like, yeah, if BPOs are gonna scale, maybe if they adapt to like that new reality. Do you feel that at some point AIs will replace most humans in the next couple of decades?
Uh, I think this could be the case. Now, probably individuals will have to step into different types of skills, grow new skills, Uh, but the reality is not necessarily there yet. We still see a lot of points of interactions where, as you said, human interaction is still required. A face-to-face relationship is extremely important, at least in different parts of the world. Different cultures need different types of services. There are areas probably where 100% AI will replace individuals, say in the call centers business. This is very evident. But in areas where still a bit of the need to have an individual sitting with people is still there, I think.
Right. Well, if it's from a distance, I think most customers wouldn't even realize, but I think there would also be laws, like forcing disclosure if it's an AI serving someone. I think that would make sense, right? Always like full transparency. Now, what markets are you targeting on your side? Is it around Abu Dhabi? Is it like the surrounding countries? Like, what's your
Yeah.
ideal customer persona?
So absolutely. So our main market is actually the UAE. So Abu Dhabi, Dubai, basically, where you have like, I don't know, maybe like 80 to 85% of the economy is actually based on SMEs, if you like. The other go-to market for us, which probably is a point where we're developing a go-to market right now, is Saudi Arabia. Obviously, it's a great market where a lot of things are happening now, and will happen in the coming 5 to 10 years. So opportunities are quite big right now there.
And how do you market in these specific markets, Saudi and UAE? What's your means of communication? How do you get in touch with them? And what are tips? How do you address these people differently than if you would address, let's say, someone from the US or Canada?
Yeah. So I always tell my team we're actually in the business of trust. We're not in the business of PPO. People won't work with us unless they trust us, especially that we're disrupting a lot of things. We're handling back office functions such as HR, procurement, IT, accounting, marketing to a certain extent. So, a very versatile backbone. Nobody will work with us unless they feel enough confidence. We're handling their data, their suppliers, their customers. So, it's very important step. Now, why do I say this? Because we're also in this part of the world into a culture of trust. So again, people will work with you if they know you, if they trust you, which means an extra effort to farm the relationship, if you like, with clients. That's number one. And number two, a lot happens through personal relationships. So it's a very sophisticated sale, I would say, uh, and that puts a lot of pressure on the team. But we have been able to prove ourselves. We have a number of clients which are extremely distinguished here in this region, and yeah, we're growing this versus I say West, I mean more Western, more North American client. I think North American clients, um, they have to understand the concept, and uh, probably they're more eager to work with you. We have clients from the US as well, who are settled here in this part of the world. We service them, and we have seen that the relationship with them, the trust building was very fast, for instance. And yeah, this is how we grow our business.
And why is it slower in Saudi and UAE? And what's your approach to that? What's your first point of contact? Is it a cold email? Is it a LinkedIn outreach? Is it an ad? And then does that just mean a longer sales cycle and more follow-ups from your end, or physical
Yeah,
meeting?
yeah, absolutely. Less cold emails, if you like, more relationships, more direct and indirect connections. I think that's very important. Um, but yeah, I mean, people have to get to know you more. That's simply the way things work here.
And how do you work with, let's say, a new client comes to you and he's like, I need 50 people. Do you just recruit them in the span of 2 months? Do you have an existing database? What's your process to get that client set up and make sure that you have the proper staff with them quickly?
Absolutely. I mean, this is part of the service we provide, the kind of what we call the manpower augmentation type of business. We do this. We have built our database for this. We do rely on a network of freelancers as well, because people want freedom more and more. So they don't necessarily want to be 100% be employed somewhere. So more and more we find these subject matter expert consultants that we bring in whenever we have a project. Obviously, we have the core team available, but yeah, that's something we do as well.
So, what's next for you? What are your goals to grow the business?
So we have a plan to move gradually from a purely service company, a boutique BPO, to more a technology company. So this is where we want to see ourselves in the coming 2 3 years moving forward. For us, that's a strategic direction. We want also to grow ourselves in the regional markets, obviously the Saudi market. Another extremely important point that we want to achieve is probably to be associated with the likes of a private equity, an investment holding, where actually this will accelerate our growth. We want to invest more in technology. We want to own more some of the elements of the delivery that today maybe we rely on external parties to do it. And by having a strong partner in place, we can go to the next steps. I mean, from moving from a services company to a technology company, I mean, you can imagine in terms of valuation where we will sit, it will be a completely different ballgame.
Interesting. Well, Mohammed, thank you so much for coming on today. Where can people find out more about you and your company?
So synergi.ae, this is our website. Yeah, and all the information is there.
So that was Mohammed and Charles.